Season 2, Episode 2. Witness to the Darkness. As Tommy Vercetti slowly walks through the gray streets of Liberty City, he feels lost in the unique chaos of the city. Unlike Vice City, the energy here is different, darker, sharper. The neon-lit streets hide secrets far more sinister. But this time, Tommy's sights are set on more than just the criminal underworld. Something much larger is brewing in this city. He can sense change in the air, though it begins in a way far more shocking than he anticipated. That night, a commotion from a dark alley catches his attention. He cautiously approaches the corner, and what he sees makes him frown. For police officers are yelling at a young man lying on the ground, mercilessly beating him. The man cries out in a weak voice, "Stop! I didn't do anything." But his pleas fall on deaf ears. Tommy feels a surge of anger rise within him, but holds it back as he makes a decision. From his bag, he pulls out an old companion, his camera, and starts recording. This was a habit from his days in the criminal world, gather evidence. But this time, it's for a completely different purpose. With steady hands, Tommy captures every detail. The faces of the officers, the victims' cries of pain, every act of violence. Everything is preserved on his camera. Minutes later, the officers leave the young man on the ground and depart. Tommy quietly turns off the camera and approaches the victim. The man's name is Marcus, and he turns his bloodied face toward Tommy, gasping for air. Who are you?" Marcus stammers, his bloodied lips trembling. Tommy responds simply, "Maybe I'm someone who can stop this." The next day, Marcus files a complaint against the officers. The case makes it to court, and the entire city becomes engrossed in the trial. But in court, the officers are acquitted due to insufficient evidence and contradictory witness testimonies. Marcus's voice echoes in the halls of justice, but the walls do not break. Outside the courthouse, Tommy watches silently as Marcus's eyes fill with helplessness. For a week, Tommy wrestles with what to do with the footage. Back in Vice City, he would have used such material as leverage for personal gain. But Liberty City is different. This footage isn't just a bargaining chip. It could be the catalyst for a greater message. Finally, he makes his decision. Tommy anonymously sends the footage to one of the city's largest media outlets. The video explodes onto national news within days. The captured brutality and injustice spark a massive wave of outrage. Protests erupt, social media campaigns gain momentum, and the streets fill with chants and slogans. The city boils over, fueled by the movement Tommy secretly ignited. Standing by the window of his hotel room, Tommy watches the protests flood Liberty City streets. He lights a cigarette and mutters to himself with a wry smirk, "I was just supposed to be a spectator, but it looks like I've ended up in the middle of chaos again." This is only the beginning. The anger and hunger for change rippling through the city will shake even its most powerful figures. Once again, Tommy Vercetti finds himself at the center of it all. But this time, the game is entirely different. He's not just facing the criminal underworld anymore. He's up against the city's very soul.